The Red-Blue basketball game is a huge opportunity for Tommy Lloyd and Arizona basketball. How is it a huge opportunity? We're going to talk about that now. Let's get started on Locked On Wildcats.
You are Locked On Wildcats, your daily podcast on the Arizona Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for keeping it locked on Wildcats and making FanDuel your first, brought to you by FanDuel. I'm your host, Mike Luke. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Arizona basketball right here. We got the Red-Blue game coming up here. All right, there is a lot to talk about with this game right here, and I think a big part of it, and now a big part of this is, when it comes to this game, what is at stake right here? First of all, this is going to be your first opportunity to be able to see some players who are you haven't seen before. It's quite frankly, that's the way it is. And to see, it's your first glimpse. And while it's friendly, this also isn't a situation though where this team is, known to the public. Obviously, everybody knows Oumar Ballo, leader of men. They know Kylan Boswell, obviously, as well. You know Pelle Larsson. But you don't know these other dudes. And not only do you not know these other dudes, you also don't know how some of these players are going to fit. This is going to be the first time that you're going to be able to see how some of these players fit. We're going to talk about the fit for these players right here, and I think where everybody stands when it comes to the grand scheme of things. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we start when it comes to Oumar Ballo, leader of men. Now, Oumar Ballo, leader of men, was a little bit, to put it mildly, a little bit out of shape this offseason. I think a big part of it is, why was he out of shape? And I think he kind of started reading his press clippings to a little bit. And I think a big part of it is that, let's be honest here, a big part of it is that Arizona fans are frustrated because you've had a little bit of a problem with weight or your weight training. And not only have you had a little bit of a problem with it in the past, I think people thought that you were going to get over that. And again, it's not like it's not like Arizona couldn't survive without it, but you want somebody going into their senior year to be in the best shape possible, and that is not what Oumar Ballo showed during his trip to Jerusalem. And let's be honest here, it was disappointing. You expect more from a leader of men right there. Not only do you expect more from a leader of men, I think Arizona fans should expect more. But I will say this, I think he's in much better shape right now. So I'm on campus, and not only did I see him on campus, he looked much better in the process. And I think he's going to be good. But here is the concern for me when it comes to Oumar Ballo, leader of men, is you want him to be maximizing every last bit of potential for his senior year, not getting into shape before the season. So what will he look like? And I think that's what I think that's kind of where we're at. Now, a big part of it is Montius Krivas. Mount Krivas right there, my friends. Mount Krivas. Big part of Mount Krivas and what my fascination is with him is that I think he might be better than Oumar Ballo, leader of men. And not only will he might be better, I think the other question is, at what stage then do you start wondering that? At what stage do you also start wondering, is he going to cut into? Is he going to cut into the Is he going to start cutting into Ballo's minutes? And I think he's going to cut into him immediately. And I think a big part of that is, why is he going to cut into those minutes? Because first of all, I think he's probably a little bit naturally a better basketball player. But also, more than that, he's I think he kind of gets it to a certain extent in a way that Oumar Ballo doesn't. I think basketball comes easy to him. And not only that, I will say this, that Krivas, I think, is going to be, by the end of the season, he's going to be playing 20 minutes a game, and Oumar Ballo, leader of men, is going to be playing about 25 minutes per game, something like that. So again, Oumar Ballo, got to get into shape, my guy. You got to be ready to rock and roll. We expect that because, again, you are capable of that. So Oumar Ballo, Mount Krivas, those are two guys to certainly keep an eye on. Then you got Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson is I think he's going to be the best player on the team. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering, dude, he only averaged 7 and 5 at San Diego State. I get all of that. But I will say that from his explosiveness, from his ability to dunk everything in sight, from his ability to be able to finish in traffic, I think he's going to be a player that is going to stand out immediately. And not only do I think he's going to stand out immediately, I think he's going to become a fan favorite. He is a really, really good basketball player. And yes, I know that he put up 7 and 5 at San Diego State. Guess what? I don't care, because San Diego State, while they're very good, they play first 1 to 40 wins. This is going to be a little bit different. And honestly, I'm okay with that. But I think you're going to find out very, very quickly that this dude is good. And not only is he good, he's somebody that is going to be able to, I think, carry this team at times. Again, he's a lot different than Nojulis Tabellis. I'm not sitting here telling you that he's Zoo, because he can't do offensively what Zoo can, but he's also infinitely tougher. And defensively, he is much more of an impact type player right there. So that's kind of where we're at when it comes to that, my friends. All right, but I think Keyshawn Johnson is going to be the best player on the team. But now let's talk about Caleb Love. Caleb Love is a very, very good stuff. He said that that Caleb Love is also a very, very good thing right there. And I think with Caleb Love, and I'm looking at my text message, or I'm looking at my my screenshots right here of some of his highlights. And honestly, Caleb Love's good. We're going to talk about Caleb Love in a second, but first, let's talk about FanDuel. FanDuel right here. Let's talk about FanDuel. This is a very, very good time to get onto FanDuel. FanDuel.com/LockedOn. And I said that now basically FanDuel.com is the best time of the year right now to be able to hop in there and be able to bet on games. And not only is it time, we got basketball here, you got football here right around the corner. Now, I think when it comes to this, you've also got a little bit of an added interest right here, because you got football and basketball. And he said that you got baseball. Yeah, you got baseball. You got basketball. You got all kinds of stuff. And not only do you have baseball and basketball, you can put money down. And there it is right there. I will also think that I think it's fair to say that right now, this is the best time to get in there. FanDuel.com/LockedOnCollege. Check it out. Good stuff. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with you. Thanks for keeping it locked on, Wildcats. Now, let's talk a little bit, brought to you by FanDuel, obviously. Now, let's talk a little bit let's talk a little bit about the rest of these players, and that's Caleb Love right there. Caleb Love, my friends, is a player that a lot of people didn't want to have come to the U of A. I get it. Wasn't uber efficient. I get all of that stuff. But you know what? He was at North Carolina. Come on. You got Hubert Davis there as the coach. Hubert Davis, definitely not a great coach. And not only Hubert Davis right there, Hubert Davis is, to put it mildly, like Doug Gottlieb said, he is going to be the dude that you're going to stand out and you are going to dribble the ball. You're going to have 1 or 2 dribbles. And not only that, you're going to get 1 or 2 dribbles, and you're not going to have an offense that's going to be able to put you into a position to be able to succeed. Not only that, are you not going to have an offense that's going to be able to put you in position to succeed? You are going to have to stand out there and either do a high pick and roll or something where you're just going to ISO. Tommy Lloyd says none of that. Tommy Lloyd says we are going to put you in a position to succeed, and not only put you in a position to succeed, but you're going to get a couple dribbles. And yes, you might not average 17 or 18 a game, but guess what? You're going to average 15 or 16. And not only are you going to average 15 or 16, you are going to be far more efficient in the process of it, which is going to make you far more enviable to NBA scouts right there, which is a big part of this. A big part of that. A big part of it is that, and I'm just looking at these numbers right there, there is I think it's fair to say at this stage in the game that Arizona needs somebody like Caleb Love to be able to put the ball on the floor and score. That's what you're going to want to watch for in the red-blue game. Can Caleb Love do that? If Caleb Love can do that, then I think you're going to feel really, really good about it. And I think he's going to be able to show that he can do just that. And not only just that, I think he's going to be able to show that right now Arizona is going to be able to put Arizona's going to be able to put Caleb Love in the position to succeed. And not the position to succeed, or not only the position to succeed, but to be able to put him in a better position to succeed going forward. And not only that, I think that it's fair to say at this stage in the game that he's going to be a good fit. All you people out there that doubted it, like Jason Shear, that you will regret this one later. You will regret this one later. All right. Now, a big part of it is. What else do we have here? Jayden Bradley from Alabama. Jayden Bradley is a dude who can put the ball on the court, can get to the basket. He can't really shoot, but I think you're also going to notice that he is going to have a much different approach to the game here than what Arizona had last year. Remember with Courtney Ramey last year? Remember with Courtney Ramey last year? You said that people said that he'd be able to get to the hoop and he really wouldn't. And not only that, he didn't really do any of that. And I think not only that, I think it's fair to say that he was not able to play defense as well. The way people thought. Jayden Bradley, we know, can do that. And the reason we know why, first of all, he's a 5-star kid a year ago. And he played at Alabama, 6-3 as a freshman. He was one of the more talented players in the entire country, one of the more talented freshmen. And he probably played on the most talented team in the country. And not only did he play on the most talented team in the country, he still got minutes. He still was able to play good defense, and he was able to make the most out of this, I think he's going to start, and if he doesn't start, I think he's going to be squarely in the rotation somewhere, and if he's not, then I would be fairly surprised by that. Jayden Bradley's good. ladies and gentlemen, Jaden Bradley is good. He is going to be one to keep a very close eye on because he's going to be playing 30 minutes per game. Now, not only that, he also said that he would be able to put. Not only that, he's also showed that he's also going to be able to fit well with this team. And when it comes to Pelle Larsson, he can do a lot of stuff out there that the Swedish pinball can't. We love Pelle Larsson, but on top of that, he also has a little bit of an issue right there that others on the team don't necessarily have. That I think is something to keep an eye on because he can't dribble. But if you've got a whole bunch of ball handlers out there that can dribble, that is what Arizona is looking for. And I think with when it comes to Pelle Larsson, he's a good player. Not only is he a good player, he's a dude who is just limited. That's why you need to have other players surrounding him that can make life a little bit easier for him. We're going to talk about one of those players next. We're going to take a quick little break. Thanks for giving it Locked On Wildcats and making this your first listen of the day. I am your host, Mike Luke. All right, now, I just talked about Pelle Larsson. Who is somebody that's going to make his day of life a little bit easier? And one of those dudes is Kylan Boswell. Now, again, I don't think that Boswell's great. I don't think he's an NBA prospect like maybe some others do, but he's good, though. There's no doubt about it. He's a good basketball player. He can he can alleviate a little bit of the stress. He can get after it defensively, and he can dribble the ball. Again, hence dribble the ball. That's a big part of this equation right here. What kind of moves has he made now? Because again, he didn't look great overseas, and he certainly didn't look great for Team USA. But I don't put a ton of credence in that. Again, Tommy Lloyd is big on Kylan Boswell. I'm big on Kylan Boswell as well. What moves has he made to be able to make that next move happen? Now, I think a big part of this is where are we now with this team? How good can they be? That is the question that I think a lot of people have. But a big part of this, though, is this is also going to be an awesome recruiting weekend for the Cats because you're going to have Emmanuel Stephen in town. Emmanuel Stephen, I would imagine, is going to commit to the U of A next week. And not only is he going to commit to the U of A, I think he's going to be proud about it. I would expect a commitment from him. He's a big-time dude. Again, he can play. He can really play basketball. He's a really good basketball player. Not only is he a really good basketball player, I think he's going to fit in very well with what Tommy Lloyd wants to do. A lot of people are comparing him to Christian Coloco to a certain extent. I don't hate that comparison right there. As a matter of fact, I kind of like that comparison. So right there, that's a dude to keep an eye on. There's also going to be a lot of other players in attendance, from your Richard Jeffersons to your Gilbert Arenases to your Channing Frys. Lots of dudes going to be there. So again, make it out there. Check it out. Again, this game isn't going to be on TV. It's not going to be streaming. And not only is it not going to be streaming, this is going to be a spot where Arizona is in the grand scheme of things is looking to add players, and I think Arizona is going to be able to do just that. But this is a great opportunity to see some of the newcomers there and some guys we haven't even touched on yet. KJ Lewis, 5-star, or should have been a 4-star or a 5-star kid. Was a little bit underrated by the national folks. We'll forgive him for that. But another dude who is good. And I think he's going to be in that rotation sooner than later. He's strong. He's athletic. He's quick. I think he's going to force his way into the rotation. Then you got Paulius Morauskas. Never met a shot he didn't like. And you know what? We like that about Paulius. Paulius is looking to get into the game and looking to get his. And honestly, when you're dealing with internationals, that is kind of that's generally what you're looking at. You're looking for somebody that is looking to get in the game and get his and not be a weenie in the process. Paulius can do just that. But overall, I think this is going to be Tommy Lloyd's best team. I think it's his deepest team. I think it's his toughest team. And not only that, I think it's a team that he can really that they can really, really rally around. And on top of that, We're going to keep you all up to date on that. We'll be back with you on Monday, breaking that one all down. Tomorrow, my friends, we're going to talk Arizona football because the Washington game is here. And not only is the Washington game here, we got to find out exactly where the Cats are. Because, again, the line, if you're on FanDuel, the line is now moved to 20. Noah Fifita, is he going to start? Is Noah Fifita not going to start? We are going to find that one out. All right, now, but again, Arizona basketball red-blue game is here. This is an institution here in Arizona, as it should be. As it should be, my friends. So again, check it out. If you can be there, you'll have a lot of fun. And not only will you have a lot of fun, you're going to see a lot of the ex-U of A greats there as well. And it gets you ready. It gets the blood boiling for that Arizona-Washington game as well coming up. So, again, this is a great time to be on campus at the U of A because not only is basketball here, football is here as well. But, again, like I said, we're out of the dog days of summer. Basketball is here. Football is here. I'm curious. What do you all think? Is you more excited for the red? Are you more excited for the red-blue game or the Washington game? In most places, obviously, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, the football game. But we do know that in Arizona, basketball does rule. That obviously is the case. All right, but tomorrow we're going to talk about Noah Fifita. We're going to talk about Gunner Maldonado. We're going to talk about the really good job that Jedd Fisch has done. There is a lot of different things to get to that we're going to talk about here. But as always, really appreciate you guys making Locked On Wildcats your first listen of the day. This show is brought to you by FanDuel. Again, check it out, FanDuel.com. And if you're going to bet on the Wildcats, take the well, I'm not going to tell you anything because I'm an idiot. But on that note, we will talk with you tomorrow. You've been listening to Locked On Wildcats.